YouTube ไปนะ2 ช่องสวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับ
Greetings, everybody, and Happy New Year to all. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Facebook is ready.
Okay. So, welcome to our Zoom meeting, the first one of the new year. And the first person who wants to make a comment is Felicia Chan from Malaysia. Go ahead.
Good evening, Prajan. Sorry, last week my volume was off. I missed your question asking why I always the first one. I only noticed it when I rewatched the video. I think it's because I log in early. I always try to be early all the Dharma class because I want to plant a good Dharma seed.
Good.
Okay. Prajan, today I have 3 questions.
Go ahead.
Number 1, I find that mindfulness and illusion are not in the mind and body. Illusion is really like a magic. It's not operated by anything. It has no self, come and go on his own. Is it correct?
Illusion?
Illusion is really, I repeat again. I find that mindfulness and illusion are not in the mind and body. Illusion is really like a magic. It's not operated by anything. It has no self, come and go on its own. Is it correct?
Yes, everything that we perceive are all illusions.
Okay.
But we think they are real, but they are like bubbles. They come and then they go, they disappear. Like all of us who one day will all disappear.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, if we can maintain strong mindfulness and calmness, can we observe our thought when we meditate?
If you have strong mindfulness, you will be able to watch your thought every moment of your thought. and you can also control your thought. You can stop it or you can direct it to think whichever direction you like, either direction of Dhamma or direction of defilement, if you have strong mindfulness.
Okay. How we know we are at the strong level of mindfulness already?
When you can get into jhana, when your mind, you can make your mind become still and peaceful, at ease, and happy, then it means you have strong mindfulness.
Okay, thank you. Number 3, what should we do to make sure we do not forget our Dharma practice in case we cannot reach Sotapan and have to rebirth?
You have to keep on thinking about Dhamma, thinking about the Four Noble Truths, thinking about the 3 characteristics of existence. Every day, every moment of your life, always practicing mindfulness and wisdom. Then you might forget, but you will probably will retain. It depends on how much you develop. But if you can get to the level of the noble disciples, then you will not forget, because it becomes reality. The truth of the Buddha's teaching become reality in your mind. But right now we are thinking about it, which is memory. And memory, after a certain period of time, it can disappear. Like if you think about something constantly, you would not likely forget, right? But if you don't think about that something for a while, you can forget.
Okay, thank you. Understood. Okay. Anumodana Prajan, Sadhu.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay.
I'll go to your friend in New York, Yokbe. Hi, Yokbe. Go ahead, talk.
Yeah, good evening, Prajan. Today is the 20, I get sick. Now I feel much better, and I happy I still can see you in the Dharma talk. I have no question today. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go to Susila next. Where are you from, Susila? This is your first time, I think.
Vandami Prajan. I'm from Malaysia. I've actually followed Prajan WhatsApp group previously, and this is the first time attending Zoom meeting through my friend, Sister Felicia Chan from Malaysia.
Yes.
So she has been encouraging me to join to ask questions. So today, conditions arises. So I'm glad that given this opportunity, would like to ask Prajan, how can a layperson can have a continuous, steadily progress in meditation practice? Because my personal meditation practice has been up and down. So even before cannot maintain a certain level and to progress again, and it's like snake and ladder. So we'd like to seek Prajan's guidance and compassion so that be able to continue to practice and to have a steady progress.
Well, as a layperson, you have to accept your limitation, because you are still engaging with other activities, like working and engaging with people. So you don't have much time to devote for your practice. So comparing to an athlete, you're like an amateur athlete, like an amateur golfer. You can only practice golf maybe during the weekend, but you cannot practice golf every day. Same way with meditation. See, if you only practice occasionally, not all the time, then you cannot expect your practice to advance more than what you put in. So it's a matter of input, the amount of input you put in to your practice. The more input, then the more output. the less input, then the less output. That's why for some people who would like to get a lot of output, they take up the life of a monk or a nun and live in a monastery. That's where they will be able to put in a lot of input, and then they get a lot of output from their input that way. So in the meantime, you just have to accept your limitation and try to do as much as you can. Try to get more time out of your life instead of spending it on some other thing that you can give up. Then give up those things, and then you have more time to do your practice.
Prajan, I have experienced that that there was this period of time that I've been diligently practicing daily and spending meditation practice for about 3 to 5 hours a day. But the practice gets stagnant, and then thereafter, because cannot progress, but I guess because there are subsequently there are expectations when the practice drop, so it become like monotonous. So then it slowly reduces to like 2 hours per sitting, and then to an hour, and slowly it goes down that way. Then occasionally now, it has been some time because it was bogged down by worldly matters. Now I slowly want to pick up the practice. So would like to seek Prajan's guidance. How
Well, your practice depends on one or two things. The first is on mindfulness. See, the more mindfulness you have, then the easier for you to do the practice. So you have to try to maintain or develop mindfulness all the time, not just when you practice. You have to maintain mindfulness even before you start your practice. Like from the time you get up in the morning, you should start developing or maintaining mindfulness right away by reciting a mantra or by focusing on your body action. Stay with your body, whatever your body do. Keep your mind with your body. Don't let your mind go think about other things. Then when you practice, then you will have a lot accumulated mindfulness to help you advance in your practice, to help you get the result that you want from your practice. If you can do this, then your practice will be energized or inspired because you start to see some of the results from your practice. Then you can practice more. This is one factor. Another factor that can help you is your environment or the way you live can become, if you maintain the same type of model of living, same type of environment, then you might feel stagnant after a while. So you might want to change your environment or change your lifestyle by, for instance, being more austere with your activity, like eating. Maybe you want to cut down on your eating. If you normally eat 2 times a day, 3 times a day, right? Cut it down to 2. If you eat 2 times a day, cut it down to 1. Or if you used to eat once a day, maybe eat once every other day, for instance. So then this will increase your dukkha, your physical discomfort, which will then have to force you to do more practice to cope with this discomfort, this increased amount of comfort, by practicing more mindfulness and meditation. So this is something that you will have to adjust if you want to move forward. You have to come out of your normal comfort zone and go into a more discomfort zone to stimulate your practice. Okay? Does this sound okay to you? You understand?
Understand at the moment, but yeah, appreciate the guidance.
So, but mindfulness is always important, whether regardless of the environment or whatever you do, you still have to try to develop mindfulness as much as possible. Not just when you practice, you can maintain or develop mindfulness all the time, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Okay? Well, let me go to Seoki from Malaysia. Seoki.
Good evening, Prajan. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, perfectly.
Happy New Year, Prajan. Wishing you good health this new year.
Go ahead. You have any question?
Just listening in, no question at the moment. Thank you.
Okay. Willie from Indonesia.
Good evening, Tanachen. Today I would like to ask.
Can you speak louder or closer to the microphone?
Today I would like to ask when we are having a certain illness, how to avoid for being too anxious or obsessive in taking care of the body, like maybe thinking whether this treatment is going to work or when will I get well, or sometimes we become overly protective to the body when we are sick. Yeah, so
you have to use the three characteristics. You have to tell that your body is subjected to sickness and death. And the body is not you. It's just like a doll or a mannequin, a living mannequin. You just happen to be the possessor of this body, the temporary possessor of this body. And that one day, sooner or later, you will have to give up this body from sickness and death. So if you can always remind yourself of this truth, when sickness appears, you will not be terrorized. You will say, I know this all the time, it's going to happen. Now it's just a matter of how I should deal with it, that's all. And the best way to deal with it is mentally is to remain calm, not reacting. Physically, seek treatment if you can. But don't expect whether it's going to be well or not well, because you don't know. You just take it as it comes. Maybe it gets better, maybe it gets worse. But whatever the outcome, there's nothing you can do about it as far as the body is concerned. What you can do is to keep your mind peaceful and calm and not affected. By not expecting, by not desiring for the treatment to work or to cure your sickness. Maybe you should think of the other way. Maybe this treatment won't work and I'm going to die. Then when you die, you won't be disappointed. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much, Tanachen.
I think you forget the three characteristics of the body. As soon as you get sick, you became mindless. You forget all the teaching of the Buddha.
I remember, but it's just it doesn't work to the mind. It's like I know the theory, but it's like it's still want to worry and anxious.
Yeah, because you don't have upekkha.
Yes.
You don't develop enough upekkha to be able just to stand up to the sickness and death of the body. Yeah. You melt like butter when you come across something hot, So your mind like butter when you come face to face with sickness or death.
Yes.
So you have to freeze your mind in samadhi, okay? Freeze it with mindfulness and wisdom.
Yes, that's the only way.
Yeah. Then your mind will become strong and not disturbed by the ongoing of the body, the happening of the body. Okay.
But when I try to develop mindfulness, but then the thoughts of the body is like, too overwhelming that I can't really focus on the mindfulness.
When you're sick, you mean?
Yes, yes. So it's like I try to.
That's because when you're not sick, you don't develop mindfulness. You spend time watching movies and do other things. So when in times of need, you cannot use your mindfulness. So you have to save mindfulness like you save money for a rainy day. So
Okay.
don't be complacent. You're not sick right now, so you have capability to develop mindfulness. Try to do as much as possible before your body gets sick, and you'll find it more difficult to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Nanapat from Bangkok. Nanapat.
นมัสการค่ะท่านอาจารย์ no question right now ค่ะท่านอาจารย์
Okay. Kwan Liman from Malaysia.
Hello, Ajahn. I'm back from retreat. I'm so happy to see Ajahn. Can I please check my practice, please?
Okay.
Yes. Before I go for the retreat, Ajahn has advised to do walking, sitting, and reading Dharma books during the retreat, which I did, and I read a few books by Longta Mahabhuva and even My Way from Ajahn Suchat. So, and then I connected with Ajahn using the Facebook Q&A, and Ajahn advised on the emphasized on the three goals, which is mindfulness, samadhi, and wisdom. So I use Buddha. I chant Buddha to keep mindfulness and to stop any unnecessary thoughts. And then during the sitting, the mind is calm, still, and empty. So when I do vipassana, I contemplated on the 5 aggregates and the 3 characteristics, and then I feel that there are lesser and lesser thoughts, and I become very peaceful and quiet. After that, I contacted Ajahn again from Facebook, and Ajahn advised to contemplate on the realistic of life. I have not gone beyond old age, sickness, and death, the unattractiveness of the body, and 4 elements, which I did, and I downloaded videos to see post-mortem, to see how the body decomposed. And I even reflected on how my father vomited blood, and after a few months he passed away, and how my mother gone through the sickness, her last breath gone. So, and I keep contemplating all this, and then I changed the mantra to again and again. So I see death and birth again and again, again and again, again and again, again and again. So until there's enough of body and enough of birth, Ajahn, I want to go beyond birth. I do not have any sexual desire or any interest for men. So Ajahn, what should I focus on doing now?
Well, you just have to do more practice and test your wisdom, whether it's real wisdom or just imagined wisdom. See? Because you want to be able to let go of your attachment to your 5 khandhas, especially the body and the painful feelings. So with the body, you might have to expose it to some form of danger that might make you feel fearful of death. Exposed to death if you can. Like stay in some place where there might be some wild animals or something like that, and to see how you react to that situation. whether you can still remain calm and say, okay, the body is anicca, it's impermanent, it's gonna die one day. Maybe now is the day for it to die. But I should not be disturbed or be afraid of this truth. Yeah. So this is something you will have to prove to yourself, that you have no fear of death. The same way with painful feeling, you will just have to expose your body to painful feeling, like sitting for a long time. And when it becomes painful, you don't move, you just leave it alone. And see if you can live with the painful feeling or not. By accepting that painful feeling is something beyond your control. It's like a natural phenomenon, like the rain or the wind. That's something you cannot tell it to go away when it comes. Like painful feeling, when it happens, you cannot tell it to go away. So you just have to learn to stay with the painful feeling. If you can do this, and you are quite positive, then you're not afraid, then you have passed the test. So it's something you have to try it out for yourself. And sexual feeling also, you can test yourself by thinking of attractive images that used to arouse your sexual desire. See whether it will arouse your sexual desire or not. Or if you have sexual desire, can you also stop it by your contemplation of the asupa images?
Yeah, Ajahn, I don't feel any sexual desire, and I don't feel any interest for men. Sorry, for a long time I don't feel any.
I know, but whether what this might be, what your sexual desire might still be hidden somewhere in your mind, in the back of your mind somewhere. So you want to arouse it to see if it will come up or not. So you might have to look at some of those images, that will arouse your sexual desire.
Yeah, I try, but I run away from that. I mean, I.
You must not run away. You must just look at it and just become not disturbed by what you see. Okay. Not aroused by what you see. If you're aroused, can you use the contemplation of asupa to stop it? This is the way to test whether you still have any sexual desire or not. Not just because you think so. Because what you think might still be defilement. Trying to deceive you.
No, it's not thinking. I don't have. I'm very sure, Ajahn, I don't.
Okay. Can you shave your head then if you don't have any sexual desire?
That's my next goal.
Okay.
Ajahn, another question.
Then you can prove to the world that I have no sexual desire. I've shaved my head.
Ajahn, and also in everyday life, I find that my mind is getting very empty, like it's lesser thoughts and is peaceful. So I feel that I have sometimes don't know, I have nothing to do, so what should I do?
Do nothing. If there's nothing to do, then what is there to do? You only do when your mind becomes erratic, when your mind becomes become restless or agitated, angry or something like that. If it's peaceful and calm, if it's tame, then there's nothing for you to do. But just live with this and enjoy it. You should be thankful if there's nothing for you to do. That's the whole point of practice, is to get to the point where you don't have to do anything anymore.
Okay.
Okay, right?
Thank you very much, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
Okay. Can you get to that point now that I don't have to do anything anymore? my mind is completely under my control all the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. So there's still some of the time that you still have to deal with it.
Yes.
Okay. Then try to figure out what are they, and try to find the way to deal with it, to control it, to bring it back to normal.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, Professor Kenneth. Are you back to school, back to university now?
Hello, Tanajan. We still have another week of holiday.
Oh.
And the first week I just came back from 1 week retreat just now.
And is the university encouraged to do online study right now? Or?
No, at the moment we have face-to-face. They're trying to keep it going as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So the students come back next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have your booster yet, or you don't have your 2 shots?
Yeah, I got the booster middle of December.
Mm-hmm.
But there's quite a very high rate of infection here at the moment. Yeah. But the government is trying just to keep things going as much as possible.
Okay. Any comment or any question?
Yes, Tanajan, I was, as I said, on retreat last week, silent retreat, and the way it went seems to be quite typical for me. I practice samadhi at the beginning, and then maybe after 2 or 3 days getting calm, and at some point I become under attack from defilements. They come and they come and they come. So at that point, I tend to switch to contemplation, mainly of the 3 characteristics, the nature of the defilements that are coming. And so I work in that way. And I basically seem to spend most of the time just fighting. It's like a battle. And based on just trying to see mainly dukkha, the arising of dukkha based on expectations or desire, and also then looking at anatta, that I can't control these things, and trying to see things in these terms. So that's the way it tends to happen for me. So the question for me I wanted to ask, is this approach appropriate? When I see I'm just not getting to sustained calm, is just to switch into contemplating based on wisdom?
Well, when you have calm and when you come out of your meditation, you can do contemplation if you like. But when your mind starts to become being attacked by your defilement, maybe it's time for you to go back into meditation again, rather than trying to use your wisdom. If you are not able to do it quickly with wisdom, then maybe you should resort back to mindfulness by either sitting, watching your breath, or reciting a mantra. This might be easier for you to bring your mind back to normal, to calm. But if you know how to use wisdom, because wisdom depends on the situation, on what object your mind is being obsessed with. Yeah. And then you have to look at that object and treat it as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Once you can see that, then you might be able to let go of your obsession toward that object. And then your mind can then return back to normal again.
Mm.
But if you don't know the object of your obsession or of your dukkha, then maybe it's just better just to resort to the tried and true way, just the mindfulness, just to stop the mind from generating all these defilements.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
stop thinking.
Mm. I tend to be able to identify the cause there, or the defilement, quite clearly, and after fighting it, I do tend to get back more to normal, and it feels as if I have made some progress.
Yes, if you use wisdom, then once you can deal with this situation, then this situation shouldn't be any problem to you again in the future.
Okay. Mm.
But if you use mindfulness, you're only just evading this problem. You're not facing it you're not getting rid of this problem. When you come out, when you run into it again, you can still have problem with it.
Mm.
Because mindfulness only stop your mind from dealing or creating this problem temporarily.
Okay.
So if you can use wisdom, yes, that's the best method.
Okay.
But if you cannot, after using it and you find you're still not be able to let go, then you might want to stop and go into samadhi first to gain some semblance of normality before you start to come back and maybe try again the next time to see whether you might be able to see the anicca nature or the anatta nature of the object of your problem.
Okay. Okay, Dhanajan, thank you.
Okay. How long have you been in the retreat?
Just 1 week.
1 week, alone by yourself? Yeah.
Well, there was a small group, but it was basically individual practice. We came together for things like the mealtime.
But the same place you used to go to?
Yeah, same place I went in the summer. And when we come together, there's no talking. It's a strictly silent.
Okay, that's good.
No socializing. So it's very good.
You find you have improvement in your practice?
Yeah, I do definitely see improvement. After the end of it, I can see a difference.
Okay, and then you should try to go back more often.
Yeah, exactly. This is clear. This is very clear.
It should get to the point where you just want to go back as soon as possible.
Exactly. I think I'm almost there now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Dhanajan. Thank you.
Keep on pushing.
Thank you.
It's like pushing a rock up the mountain, a piece of boulder up the mountain. You cannot stop. Once you stop it, it will roll back down again. Okay.
Thank you, Dhanajan.
Next, Kok Seng from Singapore.
Yeah. Good evening, Ajahn. For this new year, I'd like to wish Ajahn good health. And I was contemplating what to ask Ajahn today. So I was thinking that I have actually taken refuge in the Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha more than 30 years ago. So I would appreciate very much if Ajahn would just give a short elaboration on the significance and the meaning of taking refuge in the three refuges.
Well, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha are your teachers. Taking refuge means you take them, you put yourself as their student. You want to study their teaching and then follow what they teach you to do. That's the significance of taking the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha as the refuge, as your teacher, as your guiding light. Because the path that we want to go, we don't know how to get there. So we need someone who has already been there. And the people who have already been there are the Buddhas and his noble disciples and his teaching, the Dhamma teaching. So this is what you have to stick with. Don't bother with other people's teaching. Stick to the teaching of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, noble disciples. Then you will not be sidetracked or misled. Okay.
Okay, Ajahn, and then for noble disciples here, you are referring to?
Alive and dead one. The dead one are the teachings in the books and in the recordings. Like Ajahn Mahabua, for instance, you can listen to his Dhamma talk or read his Dhamma books. Or you can study the suttas given by the Buddha. So these are your teachers. These are the people who knows the path to liberation from suffering, from dukkha. Nobody else in this world knows like them. Even the professor in the universities, they don't know how the path to liberation. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Next, Charles from Bangkok.
Ajahn, I have a few questions. Number one, I want to ask about gratitude. In terms of gratitude, is there any role for gratitude in the Buddhist practice? And does it related to the 10 perfection, the 10 paramita?
No, the gratitude is a good quality, a quality for a good person to have. Is to know how to be grateful to people who were nice to you, who help you, who give you things. Then whenever you can pay back, then you should do it. Even though they don't expect anything from you, but it's still your duty to show gratefulness whenever you can.
So it's not part of the no relationship with the 10 perfection, right?
I don't think so. I think it's part of the a quality that a good person should possess.
But my feeling is when I practice, I always remember Satit, Adicca, and Upekkha. But for the last 2 years, I feel the gratitude make me a lot more happier. So even I pick up, for example, I have a car accident, right? So I see that as Adicca. And then when I apply gratitude, right, I see that I can be worse than that. Right? I should be grateful that I myself did not get hurt and then learn a lesson. So the gratitude give me a lot of happiness.
That's right. That's why we have Thanksgiving.
There. Yeah.
That's why we have Thanksgiving.
So actually, I feel that it's worked together with Upekkha because I like complementary. For me, that's why I ask this question, whether there's any benefit for
it makes you
practice.
feel good. It makes you feel good.
But not.
But it doesn't get rid of your other problem.
I see. So Upekkha still the main practice, right?
Practice part of it.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you, Ajahn. The other question, just we talked quite a lot earlier, is about the layperson. In the modern society, many distractions. It's quite difficult for us to achieve a high level of samadhi, right? So at the same time, Ajahn suggests that we should achieve a high level of samadhi or even a chan level before we go to contemplating the three characteristics, right? So,
yes.
So I feel that this is realistically it will be very difficult. It will take a long time to achieve the samadhi level. So, can it be? Can we say that if a person achieves certain level of samadhi, for example, to the assess concentration level, the upachana samadhi level, is it sufficient to really observe the three characteristics, that so-called insight practice? Is it sufficient, Ajahn?
Well, to see the three characteristics, you can already see it now by just looking at your body and other people's body. It's anicca, right? It's constantly changing from day to day, but the change might be slow, so might not be noticeable. But if you look over the years, like if you take a look at a photograph of you 10 years ago and compare it to what you look now, then you say it's almost like a different person. So you can see anicca. The point is whether can you accept it or not. That's the question. Not the seeing itself. We know we're gonna get old, get sick, and die. But can we accept it or not? And that's why you need upekkha to be able to stop your mind from rejecting the truth. Right now we still all say, "Oh, I'm still a long way. I'm still strong. I'm still healthy." But
so Ajahn, you mean the ubeka is closely related to samadhi, to the chant, right? Is it what you mean?
Yes, it's what you get from the fourth jhana, the ubeka. When you enter into jhana, then your mind becomes still and not emotional, not reacting to anything. And that's what you want to train your mind to be, not to react to aging, sickness, and death.
Okay. Okay, yes. Another question, I think you give the answer already. You mentioned earlier, you're saying that we should be aware of the three characteristics moment by moment, 24 hours, for example. And there's a very popular word right now called mindfulness, non-judgmental. So people like to talk non-judgmental, but if we talk about non-judgmental, right, that means we cannot apply the awareness of the three characteristics all the time. What is non-judgmental is makes sense for Buddhist practice, or just like the modern Western thinking of mindfulness only?
No, that's the ultimate point. You want to get there, see? To be non-judgmental, just to be merely knowing, merely observing. But before you can get there, you have to let go of all your attachment first. By seeing everything as anatta, then you can become non-judgmental. But if you still see people as money, as status, as as praise and criticism, then you cannot avoid being judgmental. You have to rise above this first. So to see everything like you see the weather.
Okay.
When you see the weather, you're not judgmental, right?
Okay.
Oh, it's raining. Okay, it's raining. It's snowing. What is that to judge, right?
Okay, Ajahn, if I understand correctly, you mean that step one, we apply to observe the three characteristics during the mindfulness practice, but eventually, when we advance our practice, maybe we don't even need to worry about our mind, just like non-judgment. That's like
once you're not reacting to anything, then you're not judging. But if you're still reacting, it means you're still judging things.
Okay. So practically speaking, though, for our level, we should observe the anicca, upekkha all the time.
Before you can get there, you need to have samadhi first.
Samadhi as well, okay. Yeah. Okay, it's clear, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
Okay. Next, Belinda from Singapore.
Hello, Ajahn. No questions for now. Thank you.
Okay. Gavin from Vancouver, Washington.
Hello, Ajahn. I don't have any questions today. Thank you.
Okay. Geg Yensol from Penang, Malaysia.
Ajahn, there are no questions. Thank you.
Okay. Karen from San Jose.
Hi, Ajahn. I don't have any questions. I'm just listening.
Have you seen your video yet? It has been uploaded one of them onto YouTube and also on this Facebook page already. Have you seen it yet?
No, I go into my email to get the link to the Zoom meeting, which is the easy way for me to do it. And I saw that there was an email from you, and I just looked really fast, or your assistant, and it said they already uploaded something. I literally sent them that link like 6 hours ago.
Yeah.
So I have not looked at it, and I'm just amazed. You have magicians helping you.
Thank you for your effort.
Oh,
you
you're
sound
welcome.
very nice in the video.
Oh, except for my pronunciation of Pali.
It's okay.
And Thai.
It's natural. As long as it's natural, it's okay.
That's why I said my English is really good.
Yeah.
But my Pali and Thai is pathetic. But
so
anyway.
you can look at both in Facebook page and also on the YouTube Dharma in English channel.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I hope it's helpful. That's my goal, is just to be helpful.
I think it's very helpful for those who doesn't like to read, and it's easier for them just to listen. We also make MP3 file also for those who does. They can download the MP3 file.
That's so wonderful, and for visually impaired people, I think they're very helpful.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh well, that's fantastic. I'm glad to be of service.
And I hope you continue on with the other books.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, I wasn't sure. I thought I better make sure that you guys even like them. But I think I might do My Way next. And what I do is I look to see how many words there are, how many Thai and Pali words there are.
I think you should do the other book, because My Way is the first biography book, but we have a newer version called Beyond Birth. If you want to read that book, Beyond Birth, I think it's more comprehensive. It's more comprehensive than My Way.
I looked at it yesterday, and it looks so amazing, and I love all the cute photographs of you as a child. It's so cute. But I'm just gonna butcher your name when I try to say it. That's why I thought, I don't think I should do that one. But if you want me to,
I think it's okay.
Okay, well, it'll just be, there's that American lady again who can't pronounce anything correctly. But okay, I'll do that one next.
But just take your time, no pressure, just do it whenever you feel like doing it.
It's actually really helpful for me too. Reading it in a way like I'm trying to explain your point to someone works for me as well.
That's right,
so it's actually quite helpful.
Yes.
For me,
Claudia, she translated my teaching into German. So she has to understand how to present it in German.
I'm so impressed with everybody who can speak more than one language well. I'm just not good at other languages. I have a huge vocabulary in Spanish, and I can pronounce Spanish fairly well, but that's not so helpful with Buddhism. So anyway.
Maybe you can translate into Spanish one day.
Oh my goodness. Well, that would be the easiest other language for me, but it's still challenging. Yeah.
Because I have books, my teaching translated into many different languages now, into Malaysian, Indonesian, into Chinese, into German, into Portuguese, and into French also, I think. Yeah.
Wow, that's just so wonderful. It's just so wonderful.
Okay, thank you for your effort and also for your donation.
Oh, my Dhammayalk subscription. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you to your assistants so much and your admins.
You're welcome. Next, Brahman, you change your name again, Alfredo. I still know you. You're still Alfredo, no matter what name you put on.
Hi, Bante. Happy New Year, Bante.
Happy New Year to you. Okay.
2,600 years, Bante. We are much old men. I like the history of Brahma. Brahma, Bante. The example. For example, you take care school, you take care Zoom group, you take care right group, you take care the practitioners in monastery. Is a creative life, né, Bante? The Brahmas practitioner have a high level, né? And he have to give a creative life, né, Bante? A more creative life. Peoples that have high level have a creative life. Is more possible to have to help other people or to for example, Sati, you have three levels, né? Sati, Yoniso Manasikara, Sati Sampajana, Yoniso Manasikara, Yatabhuta Nanadasana. And in Yatabhuta Nanadasana is a very high level, Anapana Samadhi, for jhana, knowing. and Brahma's persons have high levels. Is more creative persons, Bhante.
If you are talking about people who have entered jhana, rupa jhana and arupa jhana as Brahman, then they don't teach much because you don't need to know much to get into jhana. All you need to know is to recite a mantra or focus on your breathing. Then you can enter into different level of jhanas. So for most of these people, they don't teach much. It's only the noble disciples and the Buddha who knew more, knew things about the whole world, the whole galaxy, the whole universe, know everything about existence.
It's not necessary.
I mean, if you compare the Buddha and with the Brahman, I think the Buddha knew a lot more than the Brahman and can be more productive or helpful to the world. That's why we have Buddhism into this day, is because of the wisdom of the Buddha, the knowledge that he had acquired and then spread and shared with us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The wisdom of the Buddha and the wisdom of the Brahma. The Brahma is arahant too, Bhante.
No, Brahman are just jhana practitioner. They just have mindfulness. They just know how to concentrate their mind into jhana, but they don't know how to get rid of the defilements. They don't know how to study. No, they don't know anything about the five khandha or the three characteristics of existence.
Yes.
All right.
All
So
right,
you should change your name to some Aryan better. Aryan, noble disciple. Or Sotapanna. Change it to Sotapanna.
Only a kidding, a nickname, only a kidding to understand more about high levels. But my goal is arahant. My goal is libertation, not
jhana.
Not
jhana is just a step on the way to enlighten. You need to have a jhana as your stepping stone.
Yes. If a person knows jhana, for jhana, it's not necessary entering jhana. The persons know about what is anatta, know about what is anicca, know about what's dukkha. Dukkha not appearing. Anicca is clear. The things not concoctions, and not necessarily entering for jhana. Only entering for jhana to rest, né, Bhante?
To gain ubekha, you need ubekha to deal with anicca. When you lose something, as soon as you want to become sad, if you have ubekha, then you just remain not sad. You say, okay, anicca, thing comes and go, and you don't feel any sadness. But without ubekha, when you lose something you like, you love, then you become sad right away.
Yes. Yes. Is important and is no important, the same, né? Porque Buddha entered in jhana when he's sick, né? It's important too.
He doesn't need to enter into jhana to run away from the sickness. He can face the sickness outside of jhana because he has ubekha and wisdom. He accepts sickness as part of life. It's like the weather, like we accept the weather. It's part of life. Right? We have snow, we have rain. So what? Let it be. Let it snow. Let it rain. Let the body get sick.
Yes.
Okay.
It's normal.
Normal.
Yes.
But you need both. You need wisdom and ubekha to be able to accept this.
Yes, I like ubekha. I like tranquility.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Good days, Bhante. Thank you. Have a new year. Good teachings for we.
Okay.
We need you.
Okay. You need yourself more. You have to Buddha said you have to rely on yourself.
I'm a simple man, but I'm a simple practitioner.
Okay.
Thanks.
Next, Dhammayalk from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Happy New Year to you, Tanajan. That very beautiful discussion, especially about you're emphatically saying that the Brahmins are not the Arahants. Actually, that is singularly very, very, very important because all Indians at the time of Buddha and these things, they were actually meditators, in and out, no problem. But stories abound because we grew up with the stories. The saint comes out of the meditation, then a bird actually poops on his body from the tree under which he's meditating, and he looks up and burns this thing. That anger is still in there in his body. So that means once he comes out of that meditation, these things, that the thing that Buddha is talking about is completely missing. It has been so for a very long time. And Buddha is the only person who actually pointed out about the three characteristics of existence and the path, and which leads to the liberation and stuff. And none of the Brahmins actually did. And way back when, he's the only one who singularly spoke about this caste system, which still abounds in India. Okay, the Brahmins, I was born in, my father is a Brahmin, and caste system is still abounding in there. Education can wipe out only these things, but all the things that as you talked about the books that the suttas that he wrote, if we read the stories in there, there's unbelievable amount of these things that he's the singularly who's pointing out the caste system is so meaningless, why a Brahmin is not good enough. And today's discussion is very, very beautiful, and that is so much of Buddhism. Thank you very much. And one more thing that I think I'm kind of joining in and chiming in with Koksang for because this is the beginning of the year, and to bring up the triple gem, and the question that he asked is actually sort of like from my heart, and actually I thoroughly enjoyed your answer to that question that I think we can stick to and practice. So thank you very much, Tanajan, and just like our Alfredo, I will all wish you to have a longer life and healthy life, and be there for all of us and for yourself and for the Dhamma. Thank you very much.
Well, I hope so. I hope your wish come true. All right, thank you. Next, Lillian from Bangkok. Lillian.
Good evening, Tanajan. Don't have any questions, but I really like your analogy about saying that meditation is really like saving money, because when we are well, we really don't have the tendency to meditate so much, but when we are sick, then we look for the Buddha for help most of the time. So it's really a good reminder for the new year as well to save as much money or meditate as much while we can before our mind gets weaker, like we get dementia or something. Then we should really try and let our mind have more peace before we become older.
Yes, and the funny thing is, the more you meditate, the less you will have dementia, the less you will have any depression, because meditation is the cure or the prevention of these things.
Yes.
You cannot prevent the sickness of the body. That's not something you can prevent. But dementia, this is mental, so it's not physical.
Okay.
Dementia, depression, this is a mental illness. They are not physical illness. If you meditate, you can prevent this mental illness from happening.
Okay.
But you cannot stop your body from getting sick. But if you already advance in your meditation, then your mind can be protected from the sickness of the body.
Okay. Yep. Very good reminder. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Philip and Adeline from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tanajan, and Happy New Year. We don't have any questions tonight.
Okay. Amanda, iPad. Where are you from, Amanda? First time. You have to unmute your microphone first. Okay.
Good to see you, Ajahn. It's usually Mandy Smith, but I
Mandy
jumped on.
Smith, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Niagara Falls. I have no questions, but also would like to just wish you good health and happiness for the new year and everybody who joins our Dhamma talks. I'm beginning to understand and see where a lot of my suffering comes from, or nightmares and things like that. And I know eventually, once some of my commitments in my lay life resolve, then I definitely would like to take a temporary ordination. And I feel kind of silly sometimes asking you questions because I know, or at least I think I know, the answer to them being gone. So I don't have any questions. Just still meditating, still being mindful.
Okay, go try to meditate as much as possible. This is your refuge, the practice of meditation and
Yes.
the development of wisdom. This will help solve your mental problems. Okay, so don't give up. Keep on doing it as much as possible.
Thank you.
All right. Johanna from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Today I have questions, but first I want to let
Can you
Ajahn
speak a
know.
bit louder? Can you speak a bit louder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Okay.
I have questions, but first I want to let Ajahn know about last week. Ajahn guides me to ask Siddhartha and Billy for the translation project. So I have contacted Siddhartha and Billy, and Siddhartha sent me all the helpful resources and example of the translation of the previous book that he did. So it can be helpful for my translation, but because he is in a meditation center, so he's not quite available for a context. So maybe I can discuss it with Billy more often. And I have contacted Billy too.
Okay, but I think you should not let this translation work sidetrack you from your meditation practice.
Yeah, that's
you should
true,
give
Ajahn.
priority to your meditation practice. And
Yeah,
only do
Ajahn.
the translation at your spare time.
Yeah, Ajahn knows exactly what I'm thinking, because I'm confused between my meditation time and translation time. But I have an idea that I can translate it in the evening after work, but I can maybe focusing on my body, on my daily activities. So maybe it can replace the sitting meditation, maybe, Ajahn, for a while.
Nothing can replace sitting meditation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But your translation might help you in your development of wisdom. You might have better understanding of the Buddha's teaching when you translate.
Yes, that's true, Ajahn. When I translate, I feel like I understand the essence more deeply.
Yeah, but you should have time for each. You have a little time for translation and have lots of time for your practice, either walking or sitting meditation.
Okay, Ajahn. Okay,
they are complementary. They're not. They're not. You cannot use them to replace the other.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to walk and have to sit, meditate.
Yeah. I'll listen to Ajahn's advice. And the other thing is, Ajahn, there is one of the participants here in your Zoom meeting. Her name is Margareta from Indonesia. She will be the proofreader for this book translation. Actually, she has been the proofreader for the previous book that Siddhartha translated with Billy. So for this book, she will be the proofreader too, Ajahn. I just want to
Okay.
let you.
All right.
Yeah, so mostly it will be me and Billy exchanging mind during the process.
Okay.
Yeah.
But don't forget to practice, okay?
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you.
Do translation on your spare time.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Ajahn, for the understanding. But I want to finish this. As soon as possible, so people can read it as soon as possible too.
Well, as long as it doesn't take away your meditation time.
Okay. Okay, Ajahn. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Ajahn, I have a question from somebody who wants to ask about when offering food to a monk, if we offer fruits that have seeds, the seeds inside, there's a belief that it can be a bad karma to offer fruits with the seeds inside. Is it true, Ajahn?
No, during the time of the Buddha, people believe that fruits and vegetables sometimes are still alive. See? And if the monk eats them, then the monk is committing the first precept, breaking the first precepts of killing. So they have a little ritual. Before you present this fruit or vegetable to the monks, you cut it up and tell the monk that I have already destroyed these fruits. So then the monk then can eat these destroyed fruits and vegetables.
Oh, okay. So as long as we cut it, then it is.
You destroy that fruit and that vegetable, so it can no longer grow.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I understand, Ajahn.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, that's all, Ajahn. Thank you.
Okay. Is that all?
Yeah, that's all for today.
Okay. Sri and Czech from Vancouver, Canada.
Ajahn.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
Happy New Year to you, Ajahn.
Yeah. I'm not feeling well, Ajahn. Last night, my body was burning so badly, from fever, and then in the middle of the night, and then I just apply your teaching. I separated the body and the mind. I saw that. Oh, why the mind is complaining? It's just the body suffering, but the mind is so I stopped the complaining of the mind, and then I watched the fire element burning the elements. I watched the body as the element, and the suffering is gone, Ajahn. So it's like, yeah, you really helped me reduce the suffering, Ajahn.
Yes, because your suffering arises from your craving or your desire to have the painful feeling disappears. But if you don't, once you stop this craving or desire, then the suffering disappears. Because you spend your time just focusing on the painful feeling, you treat it like a fire burning your body. And then it burn out, so. But then your mind becomes peaceful and calm and not affected by the painful feeling of the body.
And your teaching last week, just in time, I thought you taught Alexaru about the fire burning, and then let the fire burn. I didn't do it on. I did it just. It actually really helps, Ajahn. It makes the mind peaceful and it's not suffering anymore.
Right, because you stop your cravings. When you focus on the visual, the fire burning the body, then you won't have time to crave for the painful feeling to go away. So your mind becomes calm and peaceful and not affected by the painful feeling.
So it's like a distraction?
No, it's just stopping your cravings.
Oh.
Stopping your desire.
Yeah, I see it real time. It's really cool, Ajahn, your teaching. It helps me a lot with the suffering. Yeah. I have a question, Ajahn. Last week we talked about the investigation of the body, feeling, and mind. For the you were saying they have the three characteristics. They keep changing, right? But for the mind part, I'm wondering, like for Arahant, like if the mind still changing, Ajahn, like but they don't have like a bad emotion, right, Ajahn?
They have no cravings to create suffering, but they still have the same thing. The khandha still remain the same. The khandha still perceive and to the sensual objects and all the things that the working of the five khandha is still working the same way before they became enlightened. The difference is that they understand the nature of the five khandhas and know how to deal with them. Instead of trying to control them, they're just observing them instead. Observing them and accepting them for the way they are. Not trying to change in the way that the desire wants. They have no desire to change the five khandhas. They just let the five khandhas be. Let them be as they are. So there's no suffering in the mind of the Arahant, of the noble disciples, because they have no craving, no desire to change the five khandhas. Not like us. We want to always change the five khandhas. We want to change. We want to get rid of the painful feeling. We want to get good feelings. So this is when we get stressed and we got suffering from our trying to change the five khandhas to suit our cravings, our desire. So we're creating a lot of stress in everyday life, right? We want things to be like this. We want things to be like this. When they don't go according to the way we want it, then we become unhappy. Not with the Arahant, they just let things be.
So meaning the mind part, like you're saying the mind is the emotion, right? It can go up and down. It's changing. The same with all beings. Just the Arahant is not suffering with the changing of the condition, the mind.
Yes, change the conditions, the things that are happening in the mind to the nama khandhas happened. It's like a movie, There's still visual objects, there's still sound, and everything happening, but they don't react to them. They just merely know them. They don't have any desire for the visual to change, to be like this or like that. They don't have any desire to change the audio, the sound that come into the mind. They just merely know it, accept them for what they are. I think it's difficult for you to understand. You better practice more before you can. You have to get into jhana first. Then you'll be able to see the difference when the mind is not reacting to the mind that is reacting. Okay. So do more mindfulness, sit more meditation, get into jhana. Then you'll be able to understand this thing. It's a waste of time for you to imagine what an Arahant mind works. Better spend more time on how your mind works and how to fix it. Okay.
Yes, Ajahn.
Fix your mind, make your mind calm and peaceful all the time, regardless of what happens.
Yes, Ajahn.
Okay.
Ajahn, may I say a quick congratulations to Karen for her effort. It's good, really good recording, Ajahn.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's very natural. It's like a friend reading to you. It's really nice to listen to, Ajahn.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Give her encouragement.
It's really good reading.
Okay. Anything else?
Tan Ajahn, like if like for me as like I'm sick, so the way like I deal with it is like after the meditation I contemplate like the sick body and my healthy body. So then I feel like I've been tricked. When I'm healthy, like I totally forgot about the body will get sick. So is this a good way to keep reminding myself, like teaching my mind?
What do you mean when your mind is sick? When your body is sick, when your body is normal?
I'm just comparing like my sick body and my healthy body. Like I use this to contemplate. And then when I'm healthy, like I never think of the body will go like will become sick. So meaning like I didn't accept the body as anicca and anatta. So what I'm asking is if I keep teaching my mind that even when I'm healthy, my body will get sick. So I get this experience.
No, it's just imagining. So you have to really get sick before you can really see the truth of anicca. See, before I was well and today I'm sick. Then this you cannot just sit there and imagine. Try to convince your mind to accept it.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm really sick, so
you have to be sick, and then you can teach your mind. Say, this is anicca. Yesterday I was well, and now I'm sick. And the way to deal with this sickness is to accept it because it's anicca, it's anatta, it's something that you cannot force it to go away. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Not just try to pretend. Oh, today I'm well, but I'm thinking I'm sick. It doesn't make any sense.
No, not pretending. I'm really sick. So yeah.
Wait until you're really sick and see how you react to the sickness. If you're still reacting, then you have to use either upekkha or mindfulness to calm your mind first, and then teach your mind that this is anicca, this is anatta.
Yeah. Okay. That's what. Okay.
So right now you want to prepare the tools to deal with the sickness, which is mindfulness and upekkha and wisdom, anicca, anatta. This is just doing the homework now, preparing for the test when it comes, when the body gets real sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Tanajan.
All right. Next, Siddhartha from Indonesia.
Good evening, Tanajan. Today I don't have any question.
Okay. Gary, Singapore. Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Tanajan. Happy New Year. I have no questions today.
Okay. EB from Indonesia. You've been away a few weeks.
Yeah, Ajahn. Happy New Year, Ajahn. Can Ajahn hear me?
Yes, very good.
Yeah, I'm not joining for a few weeks because anicca, Ajahn, but no dukkha and anatta. And that is anatta, but no dukkha. Ajahn, I not join because I go to Jakarta. And in Jakarta, I met my uncle and my auntie. They have already meditation for 19 years. But why they still believing in magical power like ancient object? And my uncle keep spending money to buy that thing, and my auntie gets stressed because my auntie feel my uncle friend just lying my uncle to buying this thing, magical power. So I tell them, you meditated for 19 years, but why you still believe this thing? But they my uncle still still believe this thing. How to make they stop this this belief, Ajahn?
Well, they have to study the Buddha's teachings. They have to study the Buddha's teaching.
But maybe they want, because meditation is like the universal universe meditation. They are not Theravada, so it's hard to explain them about Buddha teaching, right? There's
Okay.
no hope, Ajahn.
No,
No hope for them.
Yeah, it's not your business to go teach them.
Yeah.
So no, don't worry.
So,
If they don't ask you, then you don't need to tell them anything.
yeah, let it be, Ajahn. Just like Ajahn said, let it be, right?
Yes, let go.
Ajahn, I want to ask you about my meditation. And my meditation, I feel like a crystal, clear and clear and translucent glass, like a crystal. And I feel that it's very pleasant for me, and I like it. Everything is okay. Is that good, Ajahn? Is that a samadhi?
It's
Or
good.
just a kilesa?
Don't worry about the name. It's just as long as you feel good, it's good.
Yeah, I really like it. I'm sometimes like a mountain, so strong. Sometimes clear like a crystal, and I really love it.
Yes, the point is
everything
to
is
the point is to maintain it as much as possible, all the time if it's possible.
Yeah, and
Maintain your
now,
mind like that all the time.
yeah, not in meditation, in our daily life also must do. Is that right, Ajahn? If people like scold me or want to make me disappoint, I just see them and knowing them and no disappointed.
That's right. Just
like that.
maintain your crystal. Don't break the crystal.
Yeah, it's true. The crystal is very bright, very clear. So, yeah, very clear. I like it.
Okay.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you.
All right. Next, Claudia from Germany. Haven't seen you for a while, Claudia. You can speak
Can
now.
you hear me?
Yes, speak louder.
Okay. Yes. Good. Happy New Year to you, Tana-chan. Yes. Currently, we have winter vacation at school where I work, so I'm happy to be here now. And I have 2 remarks. So the first remark is I'm finished with my first translation draft of your book. We will go to the precision work in the next few days. So I hope that everything will be fine. And I also want to say hello to Karen from San Jose and thank her for her work. And if she wants, we can also get in touch with each other, because about 7 years ago, I had a Mexican visitor from San Jose here in Germany. And when he was in Germany, he was that much impressed by Buddhism that he took refuge to Buddhism here in Germany. So if she wants, we can get in touch.
Okay. Anything else?
No, that's all. So I wish a happy new year to everybody.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Alvin from Malaysia.
Happy New Year, Tanajan. Good evening. Tanajan, I've got a question regarding my meditation. 2 nights ago, while I was sitting for my meditation, I felt that I got a shock because I felt that my body was moving towards left and then swing back to the right. But then I realized that I was actually sitting very still. What is that, Tanajan? What is that? What is the feeling? What is it actually indicating, Tanajan?
It's mental fabrication. Your mind just created this thing. Just be aware and then leave it alone, and then keep concentrating on your meditation object.
Okay. All right.
The goal is to enter into emptiness and ubekkha. If you're not there yet, then you have to keep on focusing on your meditation object and disregard everything else that appears. Okay?
Okay. Thanks, Tanajan.
All right. Judy, Jonas, this is your first time, I think. Judy, can you hear me? Please unmute your microphone before you can speak.
Hello, yes, I'm the
Yeah.
mother of Debbie Jonas.
I see. Debbie and
didn't I
Naomi, sisters.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Debbie and Naomi's mom. Yeah, and I'm their mom.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just starting. I want to see what my children are so excited about. And I was here looking after the grandchildren, and they're big. They don't need me that much. So I had time to do meditation. And it's pleasant, but it's not amazing yet. But it's nice. So, discussion and I'm interested to know what my children are doing. And I listened to many of your talks.
Yes.
And because I was here with the grandchildren because Debbie was at a meditation center for a few days during her break.
Good.
With the grandchildren. Yeah, and I'm just starting to meditate, and I use the fire image to get rid of an itch. I don't have pains yet, so I noticed that I had an itchy face or itchy, and I just pretend there's fire on it, and it goes away.
Good.
So that was weird. I'll admit that. That was not what I expected. So thank you for all your talks, and I'm listening.
Yes. Try to meditate for as long as possible. Then
I've
you can
been
go
doing an hour a few times, like different times an hour.
Yeah, because the longer you do, you might be able to get in deeper inside your mind.
Right.
But you need mindfulness, not just the time alone. Sitting with the time without mindfulness is not productive.
I was actually counting. That's my thing. I look at my breath, and if thoughts come up, I count. And then
That's good. That's good. That's good. Just to prevent you from thinking about other things.
Right. Yeah.
But when eventually you like to stop counting also and just keep watching instead alone.
Okay.
When your mind is no longer thinking, then maybe you can then just keep watching your breath. Because your thinking can be an obstacle to you entering into calmer state of mind.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, I'll count less, but every time a thought comes up, I start counting, and then I stop.
When there are no thoughts, then you can stop counting and just keep on watching.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay. So I'm just listening, but I enjoy listening.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, I think Martha and Christy. Martha and Joe. This is the first time to see you in person. Thank you for your generous donation.
You're so welcome. We have been listening to your talks, and we can't tell you how that's changed our lives. I've studied Buddhism and practiced for about 13 years now. And presently, I'm practicing with a monk, an ajahn in California. And one of the things that I found in listening to you is that there is a discrepancy between the directions that I'm getting from the ajahn that I'm studying from with, and from your instructions, your meditation instructions. And it would involve essentially the instructions from my ajahn to in the jhana to go to space. And so that's where I've been spending primary time and meditation, and then switching to Vipassana. But I feel that in listening to you, it's better to be spending time in the fourth jhana and then going to Vipassana. Is that right?
Yes, you need to have a lot of upekkha first before you can go to Vipassana and apply your knowledge effectively in getting rid of your defilements, of your desire. See? If you develop wisdom of Vipassana without upekkha, you will not have the strength to resist your defilement. You need upekkha to be the strength of your mind, to give the strength of your mind to resist your cravings and your desire.
Yeah, and that can't be developed in space. It's a rupa jhana.
You have to be in the rupa jhana, the fourth jhana.
Okay, and then one of the things that I've also been studying with the ajahn is meditating on the emptiness of form, and that was in Vipassana meditation that I was doing that. But perhaps, because I haven't been residing in the fourth jhana, I haven't seen that correctly. But what I saw was that the four elements themselves, because of anatta and anicca, are essentially empty. And when they're empty, the mind, it appears, has an impulse to project on the elements to get them basically to form into the desired shape or the desired manifestation. So am I seeing that right?
No, you don't want to really to create any type of perception. You just want to study what you perceive as being anatta, like your body and my body. That there's no self in this body. There's me or you or I in this body. This body is pure four elements. That's all it is. It is made up of the four elements. And it is impermanent. It's constantly changing. And eventually it will dissolve one day and return back to the four elements, to the four separate elements.
Right.
This is something you want to educate your mind with, so that when things happen to your body, then your mind will not be disturbed or upset or sad.
So emptiness of form, meditating on that is not important then?
No, it's just another way of getting into jhana, that's all.
Yeah, right. But it's better to do it through the body.
No, I mean, these are two separate practices. See? The practice of jhana and the practice of vipassana are separate. When you practice jhana, you want to stop your mind from thinking. You want to rest your mind.
Okay.
And when your mind is rested, you have strong mind, upekkha. And then when you come out of meditation, then you want to educate your mind with vipassana. That all things are impermanent. All things are anatta, no self. Everything are all made up of the four elements. And then there's nothing we can really control them. Like our body, we cannot control the body to stop the body from aging or sickness or death. This is not possible.
So at death, do you remain in the fourth jhana?
No, you're out of jhana, but you have upekkha, and this will protect you from creating suffering for your mind, from attachment to your body. You just let go of your body without having to go into jhana. You use vipassana, then this will be what you call the complete cessation of suffering. If you enter into jhana, this will be a temporary cessation of suffering. You just run away from the truth by entering into jhana. When you reborn, you'll come back with a new body again.
Yeah, I don't want that.
But if you use vipassana, then once you let go of your body, you're not coming back to it anymore, because you see it as being anicca, dukkha, and anatta.
Okay. And then, so it sounds as though perhaps it's wiser to discontinue studying with.
If you're practicing, then you don't need to study much. Maybe just about what you are practicing. That's all. If you still have some question about how to enter into jhana or something like that.
Well, I've been practicing jhana for a number of years, but because of what the Ajahn that I was studying with said to me, I was no longer going to the fourth jhana. I was going to space and residing there. But it, sounds like that was a waste of time in a sense.
No, I think fourth jhana also had a feeling like being in space also, because when you enter into jhana, fourth jhana, all you have left is emptiness.
Yeah.
So it's like being in space there. But you don't imagine, you get in there by concentration.
Right. Okay. So the last question I have then is that at the moment, well, I think you've already answered that, about the moment of death. Previous to that, you would remain in the fourth jhana, and after that, that would be gone, and you would enter in vipassana.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yes, if you want to deal with the truth, then you don't get into jhana. You just study the truth and accept the truth for what it is. Accept that everything is impermanent, everything rises and ceases. Everything is not under your control. They are all natural phenomena.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Hi, Ajahn Sarab.
Okay.
I wish to, first of all, thank you for your profound service, your dedication, and your talk in Dharma. It is amazing, and we are extremely appreciative to find you and be able to have your teachings. In your teachings, you have spoken about it's very important to find a teacher who is enlightened. Living in the United States, does such a teacher exist in the United States?
Well, there's one existing right now, is the Buddha. See?
Yeah.
The Buddha. So if you cannot find a living enlightened, then you resort to his teaching in the discourses that he taught. Because it's not easy to find, or even if you find one, you might not know if he's enlightened or not. It might take a while before you can appreciate that he might be enlightened. And normally most enlightened teachers, they don't reveal themselves as being enlightened either. Because for them it's not important. For them it's how to convince you to do the practice. Because once you start doing the practice, you experience the Dhamma yourself. You'll get to see the real Dhamma within yourself. And then you won't need a teacher after that. Because you become enlightened yourself.
Well, we are so pleased to find you.
We are.
So as long as you find a teacher, a living teacher who teaches the same thing that the Buddha teaching, then you can be quite safe. You can be quite sure that at least he's not, it's not misleading you or leading you away from the true path. As long as it teach you the Eightfold Path, the Noble Eightfold Path, then it's okay. But if you teach you something else beside that, then you have to be careful.
Thank you so much, Ajahn.
Okay. Nice meeting you. Are you living in the San Diego area?
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay, in Arizona, I see.
In Arizona.
Okay. I thought you were following Ajahn Jeff, so I thought you might be living in San Diego.
Yeah,
we go there a lot.
We go there.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
And you stay in the monastery when you go there?
When we can.
Yeah, California is very restricted with the COVID, where Arizona is not. Arizona is very free. So they cut back on all access dramatically to get to the monastery as we had in the past, been able to get to. So it's very sad to see how they have stopped much of the activities that we used to enjoy.
Well, you can go to the monastery and you can meditate, but you can't stay overnight anymore.
I see.
Yeah.
You can make your home the monastery.
We have.
Yeah.
We have, yeah.
Yeah. And we listen to you a lot. And it's because after reading the discourses for many, many years, when we hear you, we hear the Dhamma. And it was true with Ajahn Jeff too, but
it's different.
It's different.
It's very different. There's you remind us very much of Mahaboha.
Yeah.
There's almost, it's like the Dharma takes over and the flow is pure.
Yeah.
The flow is true.
Yeah. We watched Ajahn Mahaboha's videos too. And you remind us very much of that centeredness and that
ease.
Yeah, the ease.
And
Right.
the joy.
Yeah.
There's not a stiltedness, there's a complete expression of purity.
Yeah, yeah. And the way that you teach, it's easy to absorb. And it's not too cerebral. It's just, it seems that the warmth and joy of the Dhamma come through. And that's what's most important to us, is because after reading the discourses, the ease and the joy of Nibbana is what makes it
accessible.
It makes the heart want to be there. And it makes the heart feel that the desires for sensuality aren't important anymore, because you're getting something that's so superior.
That's right.
Yeah.
The taste of Dhamma excels all tastes.
It does. It makes life fabulous.
Yes.
And yeah. And you embody that for us. We can't put it into words. It's, the way that you present the Dhamma has returned for me personally, and I think Joseph too, the sense of the real ease and joy that Buddha and his disciples enjoyed, during their lifetimes. And I think that that's the best way to enjoy Dhamma on earth, is
you've integrated the spirit of the teaching as well as the letter of the law of the teaching in a manner that is acceptable, easy to absorb and participate with.
Yeah,
you are an extraordinary teacher.
Yeah, we've never found that with another teacher. We love Ajahn Jeff, but it's not the same. It's just a different level.
We figured that since you spent so much time hiding from Mahaboha, you really know what you're doing.
Yeah, and reading My Way, that was wonderful, because you could see that your monastery was in your mind, and that's what we want. And so we've withdrawn from everything in terms of socializing, and we don't live a normal life, quote unquote. And we live in our home. We have separate meditation spaces, and so even though we might not be able to come to you in Thailand. We feel that you're with us here in Scottsdale, Arizona. So we're really grateful for that.
Okay, very happy to see you and hear how you enjoy the Dhamma teaching. I hope you will continue on with your practice. Okay.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Let me go to next. Monica Chen and Fong Sing Yi from Malaysia. Go ahead.
I wish you a good year of 2022.
Okay, thank you. Any question?
Yeah, actually, also continuing with on the question of the using the fire to burn the pain in the body, which I read in your book Beyond Birth. So Tanajan mentioned that you use fire to burn the body when there is pain in the body. Is this during a vipassana time?
It's when you meditate and you have your body become painful, see, and you don't want to get up, so you want to somehow cope with this painful feelings, and you can do this by imagining that the pain is like a fire burning your body, and then you just focus on this image in your mind. That the fire start to consume your body, get bigger and bigger, and eventually burn your whole body down to ashes. This is something you imagine in your mind, using the painful feeling as the fire burning your body. When you do this, you forget about the painful feeling, and it's like as if you're just watching a movie instead. Then your dukkha, your suffering, your aversion to the pain disappears because you're enjoying watching it. And then eventually the mind will be separated from the body. The body will be feeling like being sucked into the floor when the fire totally consumes the body into ashes. When the body collapses from your sitting position, when the fire eventually consumes your body, then the whole body will collapse to the floor and becoming ashes. And then you feel that the mind is being separated from the body, and the body is being sucked into the floor as being part of the floor. Then your mind becomes very quiet, very peaceful, and very happy.
So this is a way to handle the mind, isn't it, when there's too much pain?
Well, this is one way. There's many different ways, but each one has to find their own ways, I guess. But the whole point is to stop the mind from reacting to the pain, from having aversion toward the pain. Because it's the aversion to the pain that is causing dukkha in the mind. And that's what you want to get rid of.
So there are actually 4 elements. Can we only just use the fire element, or can we also use other elements?
Dealing with what? With the painful feeling?
Yes.
No. See, the painful feeling is like fire. So you cannot use water as painful feeling.
So basically, fire element is the one that we can use to.
Well, under this instance, but you can also look at the painful feeling as the weather also. See? It's anatta. Painful feeling is anatta. It's like the weather. When it snows, you cannot stop it from snowing. So when the body has painful feeling, you cannot stop this painful feeling either. So you treat it like a natural phenomenon, anatta, not under your control. But you learn to accept and learn to live with it, right? You learn to live, accept the weather. When it's hot, you accept it. When it's cold, you accept it. When it rains, you accept it. So you should also train your mind to accept the painful feeling. See, normally the mind doesn't like painful feeling. It has aversion for painful feeling. And that's when you have stress in your mind, when you're faced with painful feeling, because of your aversion to it. So you want to somehow to convince your mind not to have any aversion toward this painful feeling. By looking at it like a weather, it's something you cannot control or stop it from happening. So you just have to learn to live with it by using ubekha, being calm and not reacting. If your mind is reacting, you can use a mantra to stop it from reacting. You can use mantra bhutto, 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 and leave the painful feeling alone. And when the mind stops reacting, stop having aversion, then your mind becomes calm and peaceful. Then the painful feeling does not bother the mind. So when you practice, you have to somehow, invent some method for you to cope with this problem. Whichever method you might devise is up to you. This is something that maybe cannot be transferred from one person to the next. It is something that you might have to devise yourself. But it's the same general way. You have to somehow accept the painful feeling as anatta.
Yeah, I think I have to try because I use the weather method. I think it doesn't work.
Like we accept the death of the body. The death of the body is also an anatta. You cannot stop death from happening. Then you cannot stop the rain from falling down.
Yeah.
It's similar.
Yeah, then the other thing, Tanajan mentioned about the 10 practices for meditation practitioners. So for the beginning, which one should we just apply all of this concurrently?
Oh, you first apply the first one, the first two one is to one little, just to have enough for existing. You don't need much. You don't want to have lots of money. You want to have lots of things, lots of clothing, and lots of food and all these things. All you need is just to have enough to survive, to exist. And if you cannot get this, then you have to use the second one, is be happy, just be content with what you get.
Okay. All right.
This is to be the first practices that you should apply to yourself if you want to go toward the spiritual path. You want to leave the physical, the comfort of the physical world.
Okay.
This will also give you more time to do practice, because then you don't want to have to spend much time accumulating money and things to keep you happy. You just want to keep the body going, that's all. You don't want to have any happiness from this physical or material things. You want to have happiness from your practice, from your meditation practice. So you want to minimize the amount of time you spend on your physical part. And then you want to maximize the time on your spiritual part. So these two practices will do that for you.
Right, yeah. There are too much distractions. When there are too much distractions.
Too much money, too much wealth, too much food, too much everything, And what does it do for your mind? Nothing, right?
A lot of restlessness.
Worry, anxiety.
Yeah. Okay. Too much.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Tanajan, just now coming back to method. So, recently because it's been quite busy, so the mind when I meditate, the thoughts keep on coming in. So normally what I do, obviously, I'll recite the mantra. So it will stop, or sometimes I catch the thought and then it will stop. So is there any other method that Thanajan can share that might help to reduce the thoughts from coming up?
Yes, when you do your work, you go about doing your routine, like washing, brushing your teeth, dressing, taking a bath, eating. You concentrate on what you do and stop thinking about other things. Don't do multitask. Just do one task at a time. Just focus your mind on what you're doing with your body, and don't think about other things. See, then when you meditate, you'll find that your mind doesn't run away anymore. It will stay with your meditation object.
Okay, so if let's say if it really still run away,
then you can use the mantra to bring it back.
okay, so even like normally once I do it, so it will bring it back, but I find that I won't be able to go into deeper calmness. So normally it's quite superficial. So should I sit longer?
Well, I'm speaking about two different things. This is about when you're not meditating yet. This is when you go about doing your work, your routine. You want to minimize your thought as much as possible by concentrating on what your body is doing. And then when you meditate, then you either focus on your breath or on your mantra. And if you have strong mindfulness, then your mind won't run away and go think about other things. And if you have strong mindfulness, you can enter into samadhi maybe in 10 minutes or so, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. If your mindfulness is continuous, your mind not running away, just keep focusing on the meditation object. Then it can enter into samadhi quite easily and quickly that way. But if your mind still keep running away and you keep pulling it back, then it will be a struggle. It will not be possible for your mind to enter into samadhi at all, regardless of the time you spend sitting. So it depends on your mindfulness. So that's why you have to develop more mindfulness when you're not sitting. Be mindful with every movement of your body. Kaya kata sati. Kaya kata sati. Go read in the Satipatthana Sutta on the development of Kaya Kata Sati in the body section, how to develop mindfulness with the body. Walking, standing, sitting, doing things. Just keep watching the body. Don't go away. Don't let your mind go think about other things.
Yeah, last time I used to do that, so but recently there's been a lapse. So normally when I wake up, I will remind myself about this body is subjected to aging, sickness, death, and I'll try to be aware of the body. But recently there's been a lapse of mindfulness.
Yes. It's good to think, but sometimes you don't want to think. You want to just stop thinking, just keep watching instead. So sometimes you have to suspend your vipassana thinking first. Because when you think, then you start to think about other things after that. You don't stop thinking.
Okay.
Or maybe just have a brief reminder that I'm subjected to aging, sickness, and death. And once you have done that, then start to watch your body movement when you start to do things.
Okay, I will try that.
All right, and see how it works for you. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Thanajan.
Okay. Next, Katrina from Australia. Haven't seen you a while.
Hi, John. Yeah, how are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Good to listen.
How's your son? How's your son?
He's good. I was just thinking he's doing a lot of Muay Thai.
Muay Thai, Thai boxing.
Yeah. He goes like every day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
He goes. It's good for him. Yeah, he's good. Thanks for asking. I don't have any questions, but it's really nice to listen.
It's quite late for you also. What time is it now?
I think it's like
2 o'clock?
1 a.m.
1
maybe.
a.m. Yeah. Okay. So it's hard for you to join our meeting.
Yeah, I have to be like really well rested, and not just sometimes anyway. Like I don't know. I just I always have the intention of getting on, but then I just sometimes get tired and decide to sleep. But tonight I was like,
do you still do some meditation, some practice?
yeah, well, I listen to your talks a lot. I listen to your talks, you know, when I'm going to sleep or when I'm putting the children to sleep. And I try to practice, and we've moved to the country. So we're living on a property now. So I practice a lot just sitting out in nature. Yeah, I do that more than sort of just sitting inside. I don't know, just like with the animals, we have goats, and I just like sit with the animals. I remember when I was at the monastery and a big moose came and was standing near where you were giving your talk. It was really nice. But yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And yeah, listening to you, getting inspiration from you.
You still doing your artwork?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, like I'm finding it funny this year that or the last part of last year as well, things are dropping off for me, like wanting to do things as much, but I still have like strong feelings of wanting to do it. And yeah, I don't know if it brings happiness, but can't help it at the moment.
The best way to happiness is to meditate.
Yeah, I know. I think it's just like strong ego and just, yeah, like keep meditating. I guess like quitting anything, you know, you sort of don't focus on the quitting, you just focus on meditating, and then the things drop away. True?
Yes, when you meditate, you let go of everything. They don't matter anymore. Once your mind becomes calm and peaceful, you'll find that you don't really need anything.
Yeah, I would like to get more to that state.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Nice talking to you.
You too.
Next, Seyon from Singapore. Excuse me.
Hi, Ajahn. Happy New Year. I have no questions today. Thank you.
Okay. We have Aseng again. Aseng from Singapore. You have to unmute your microphone, Aseng.
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy New Year, Ajahn, and everybody else.
Okay.
I usually I would just listen to your talks online or offline. Actually, today I was just listening to your talks passively, and I logged in specially for Martha. I was very touched with her and her partner with the practices. So more replying to her. No disrespect to you, sir. I'm very impressed with their enthusiasm on the path. So I just thought, like, maybe if Ajahn would like to correct me if I'm wrong, I think probably for Martha and her partner, maybe the focus is on anicca, dukkha, anatta, rather than other things and to realize the anicca, dukkha, anatta, that will bring to the ultimate goal, the peace and calm, that will be beneficial for themselves. So I just wanted to encourage them and think that this is really good. And also show my appreciation to Ajahn and the administrators for making this possible. Phrasuchart's efforts to be online at least like twice a week for the benefit of everybody. So thank you. I really benefited a lot. I do not have questions today. Phrasuchart, thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Mudita from Bangkok. You also been away for a while. Spend your holiday, New Year holiday.
It's not good, Hanajan, because spending too much time on the physical happiness rather than the spiritual happiness, and feeling guilty about it. But yeah, now I'm back to my normal routine. Hanajan, I do have a question about Marananusati. Is it enough if I just recite the words like birth and death alone, or do I have to picture myself being dead, like my dead body in my mind or something like that?
Well, it depends on what impressed your mind was. Whatever can calm your mind down, that's what you want.
Okay.
That's the effect.
Okay. So
I'll show you the picture of death, what it looks like. Yeah. So you might want to look at yourself as being a corpse, for instance, and then being put into a casket, and then being put into a crematorium, and then turn into ashes. For instance.
Okay. It's a little bit more difficult to imagine the whole scene rather than reciting the words, right? Like
well, it depends on how you want to do or what you want. If you want to calm your mind, if you can just use one word and your mind can become calm, then maybe you don't need to expand it. But if you think of one word and it doesn't impress your mind enough, then you might want to expand it to more deeper.
Mm-hmm. Okay, like Tanajan, I tried. There's this book that collects all the pictures of 32 parts of the body, but in a very, very ugly form. I feel like not frightened, but I feel a bit sickening when I look at them. So I stopped looking at them, and I think maybe at this stage, maybe it's better for me just focus on reciting the word. Yeah,
you need Ubeka more because your mind still reacting. You still have aversion to the Asupa images, and you still have attraction for the Supa images.
I think so too. Okay, Hanajan. So I will focus on getting the Ubeka.
Yeah, more Ubeka, then you will be able to contemplate or look at the Asupa more,
right.
and not being have any bad feeling about it. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Because you want to impress your mind with these images. So that you don't forget. That's the point.
Right.
So that whenever you have any sexual desire, then you can think of these images, and then it will be able to calm your sexual desire down.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Today I'm good for today.
So you have to still do mindfulness and meditation.
Right.
If you find that you cannot truly contemplate on death or Asupha yet, then you have to develop more Ubeka.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much.
I think now is the time for Facebook question.
We have 10 questions right now, Tanajan.
Okay, go ahead.
First question from Robert. Some older people, 80 years old and older, who I know, have lived a proper moral life through their religion practice, but when sickness or signs of aging affect them, they will mention things like, I can die now, and I'm ready to go now, and etc. Could you please explain this? Thank you.
Because they have wisdom, they can see that truth is imminent, death is imminent, and there's nothing they can do about it. So if they're willing to go, they accept it, then there would be no dukkha for them. If they reject, if they have aversion, then they will have dukkha. So they have wisdom, they see the truth of anicca, they see that the body is gonna die. And it's a normal thing. It's not something something extraordinary in any way. It's just normal for the body to age, to sick and die.
Next question from Fabian. Dear Ajahn Suchat, based on your experience, how do you know the real progress and improvement in our meditation? Thank you.
Well, your mind becomes calmer, more peaceful, and having less desire, having less greed and or anger. You have more contentment. You don't want to have much of anything.
Next question from Chia Vincent. Does mindfulness means to do the right actions and right thoughts? Thank you.
No, mindfulness is to be aware of one object, not letting your mind go thinking about other things. Like mindful of your body or mindful of a mantra. To tie your mind into one place, not to let it run around back and forth about thinking about the future or thinking about the past or thinking about this and that. You want to stop your mind from thinking. That's what the purpose of mindfulness is.
Next question from Xiao Chan. Ajahn, my memory is not good. Every time Ajahn talk about 10 fetters, I will not remember even one, but I tell myself to keep my meditation progress well, to only know Four Noble Truths and Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. My question is, can I progress to the path of enlightenment with just meditation and knowing the simple basic knowledge of what I mentioned just now, which is Four Noble Truths, Anicca, Dukkha, and Anatta? Thank you.
Well, you have to know the three characteristics, the nature of everything. Everything has these three characteristics as their nature, and be able to let go, not being attached to anything. Then you can become enlightened.
Next question from Lisan Tan. Good evening and Happy New Year, Ajahn. In Sikavo Vada Sutta, the commitments and reciprocal acts of siblings, the older and the younger, are not described. Kindly explain those commitments and reciprocal acts between the older and the younger in practical life. Thank you so much, Ajahn.
Well, I'm not really. I just know generally that you have to have metta or compassion towards your brothers and your sisters. You have to love your brothers and sisters like you love yourself. If you're younger, you have to be respectful of your older brothers and sisters. And if you're older, you have to have metta, compassion for the younger brothers and sisters. This is basically how you use in regard to your brothers and sisters.
Next question from Ashwin. Vandami Pante. How to reach the first jhana? Thank you.
By mindfulness, just keep reciting a mantra. If you use your mantra as your meditation object, or if you use the breath, then just keep watching the in and out breath that comes and go out at your nostril, at the tip of your nose.
Next question from Hun Lun. I just finished a breathing meditation in half lotus posture for 50 minutes. Towards the end of the meditation, my body became heated. The body became very sensitive to each breath. In particular, the in-breath seemed to send some kinds of electrical pulse to the lower body. The feeling is pleasant, but it is getting too hot to be comfortable. It is also easy to maintain mindfulness of each breath. I ended the meditation with 32 parts body scan, and my 3 questions are: the first one, was I doing meditation correctly?
Well, you haven't reached the jhana yet. You haven't reached upekkha yet. So you haven't yet practiced to to achieve the result. So maybe because your mindfulness is not continuous, your mindfulness might be losing some time. You might go think about some other thing rather than focus on your breath. So I think it's a lack of mindfulness, continuous mindfulness that you might have to improve on.
And the second question is how to prolong the above meditation when the body is heated.
You can switch from watching your breath and recite a mantra instead. A mantra might be able to give you stronger mindfulness and give you more concentrated and not be distracted by the painful feeling.
And the third question is, when should I stop a meditation sitting? Thank you.
When you feel you can no longer sit. If you can still sit, just keep on continuing on sitting as long as possible. If you have more mindfulness, then you can sit longer. Because when you have more mindfulness, stronger mindfulness, your mind will be able to withstand the painful feeling of the body and the desire to get up.
And the last question from Jeffrey. If there is no self, why should we concern with the rebirth and karma? Thank you.
Because rebirth and karma gives you sufferings, it gives you dukkha, gives you stress, gives you sadness, gives you fear, gives you anxiety, worry, and agitation, and so forth. So our practice is to stop this dukkha, the stress in our mind.
That's all, Ajahn. Yes.
Okay. Well, I think we have passed our 2-hour mark. It's almost 2 hours and 20 minutes already. If there's no question, or I think maybe we should stop for tonight because it's quite late, and maybe we'll continue on with our discussion again next week. Okay, if you will allow me to say goodbye, okay, and to end this meeting. Thank you very much for joining this meeting. I hope you have benefit and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you again next Tuesday. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank
you, Sir.
Thank you, Brother. Everyone.
Thank you.
Get better, Sui and Check.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carol.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Kula.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.